Third down and 20.
Let's get into the segment that hopefully everyone's been waiting for, the picks. This is where the money is made. I'm gonna go first. So I had a relatively rough week last week. I went like 3-5. Stinks because I was on a decent streak, going 1 or 2 games above 500 for the most part. Um, I think me and you, Steve, we kind of both started the season off kind of rough. And that middle stretch, we started doing really well. And then I think I don't know how you did specifically last week. I know we both hit on our dogs of the week, which is nice, but I did not have a very successful week last week. But we're turning around this week, and I'm turning around with a teaser. My teasers have cooled off, but we're getting them back. I'm taking 2 this week. First one, I'm taking the Steelers -1 against the Bengals, and the chart is a 6-point teaser, and the Chargers +8.5 against the team that we've been hyping up, the Dolphins. I just think that Chargers-Dolphins game, by the law of Chargers, that it will be a close game because that's just how the Chargers roll. Good or bad, no matter who the Chargers play, it's going to come down to the last possession. So we get that game, 2 scores. Chargers game's going to come down to the last possession, and I'll hopefully hit on that teaser as long as the Steelers are able to win against a rookie quarterback at Heinz Field.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, this week is weird because like last week I really liked my slate. I think I went like 5-3, but I'm just gonna start out. I got Broncos +5 here against the Raiders. Like I know we're a huge Raiders podcast.
This is a Raiders podcast.
Yeah, I know, but dude, I think 5 points for the Broncos is a lot of points for me, and especially like the Broncos team that.
This is a Raiders.
I mean, like,
dude, how can you pick against the Raiders?
You picked against the Raiders. This is the first week I picked against the Raiders.
No, I've never picked against the Raiders my entire life. Though. Never once.
Bull crap! I think you picked the Patriots against the Raiders. I'm pretty sure.
No, I was thinking about it. I just I picked him in my pick'ems, but not on the card for the podcast. Lucas, if you want to say some picks, you can go ahead and say whatever picks you like this week.
Yeah, I usually don't look at the picks, this early in the week because, like I said, I don't like to look at the lines or anything before I do.
Oh, before you do your
my
column,
picks in my article, but I'm taking a look now. One thing that kind of catches my eye a little bit, the Sunday night game between the Ravens and the Patriots. I like the over in that. The line's only 43.5. And I mean, obviously the Patriots have kind of had their struggles on offense. On Monday night they were going up against the Jets, so maybe you have to take this with a grain of salt. But Cam Newton looked pretty good against the Jets, just in terms of his accuracy. I mean, the Ravens offense, they're going to perform on any given day. So, I mean, you only need to get to 44 points. Patriots gave up 27 to the Jets on Monday night. I think the Ravens can do at least that. I mean, even if the Ravens score 27, you just need 17 from the Patriots. So I think pretty good odds, and definitely in the realm of possibility that, this is pretty easily over 43.5.
I think I might be taking that now because you are the over-under guy, it seems like. So, listen, I like that pick a lot. I didn't look at the over-under line this week. I think you're right. I think that the Patriots offense is going to catch a little bit more fire than it has in recent weeks. I mean, you have to remember when the Patriots had like that 10-point game against the Broncos and whatnot, they were barely practicing in those weeks in that middle of the season because of COVID. Now I think that the Patriots, we're going to see them in a groove. And speaking of, I'm taking the Patriots as my dog of the week. It's a tough game against Baltimore, but I honestly believe even though they had a crap game against the Jets, I think that the Patriots are on an uptick, and the Baltimore Ravens have been struggling recently, even though they just came off a good win against the Colts, a double-digit win. That Ravens offense has some problems, especially throwing the football. I think that if the Ravens aren't able to challenge the Patriots secondary like they did in that first matchup when the Ravens pasted the Patriots, I think this could be a completely different ball game. I would not be surprised if the Patriots got completely blown out. To be honest, like you don't know what you're getting out of this Patriots team. But I think that the Patriots are going to be ready to play this week, and this could be kind of a trap game for a Ravens team that's thinking, "Oh, we blew them out last time we played." This is a different Patriots team, for better or for worse. It's a completely different team. It feels like a different system. So I'm curious to see how a struggling Ravens offense performs against this Patriots team. I think as long as the Cam Newton and the Patriots don't turn the ball over and just hand the Ravens points, this could be a one-score game. So I like the spread a lot more than the money line. But hey, this is dog of the week. Go hard or go home. Patriots money line.
Yeah. I'm also going to be telling that over at 43.5 as well. But this isn't my dog pick, but I'm going to be picking a dog here. I'm taking Bills +2 against the Cardinals. I think this is my third week in a row picking against the Cardinals. But I mean, just looking at the Bills as road underdogs in their last 8 games, they're 5-1-2 against the spread, and Arizona has just beaten the spread once in their past 6 home games as home favorites. So I know this is like the Cardinals' like 4th game at home, and like they're bound to like pick up one here. I just still think like the Bills are a better complete team. Has their defense been that top 5 unit from the past 2 years we've seen? No, they haven't been that yet. I think they're starting to get into that mold. I know they gave up 30-something points against the Seahawks, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing Russ, and that was Russ's worst game of the year. And so I like the Bills covering the spread here at +2.
I'm also going to be taking a dog. Another dog, not my dog of the week, mainly because this is kind of a cop-out dog of the week. I'm not even sure they're going to end as a dog. After our trashing of the Seahawks defense, I'm going to be taking them money line this week. One of the main reasons why is, as I pointed out earlier, I think the Seahawks are a team that is most susceptible to 4 receiver sets where they're spreading out the field. The Rams have only lined up in 4 receiver sets 4 snaps this season. It's going to be interesting to see if they try to make that change coming into this game. It's going to be something I look out for. But I think that if the Rams go with their traditional game plan of trying to develop the run and using a lot of play action, I actually think that plays into the Seahawks' strength a little bit in terms of, they try to put the Seahawks linebackers in a bind and work off them. The Seahawks linebackers are the best part of that defense. And this is a game where I think that if they're able to hold the Rams to under 30 points, this is a win for the Seahawks.
Yeah, so I'm going to be going against you here. I got Rams -1.5. The Seahawks are 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 trips to LA. So they struggle there. The Rams, I like them coming off a bye. Jalen Ramsey's back. Henderson's back. I know this is like all pointed to, like, especially if you get a Seahawks team as an underdog, like you feel reluctant to take them, but like I kind of like riding with the Rams here. Also, I kind of like when we go head to head here in picks.
Yeah, spark some controversy.
Yeah.
My next pick, I'm going to be taking the Bucks -5. I think this is just a bounce back week for the Bucks. The line's a little bit larger than I would have liked. I would have loved to get them at like a 3.5 or a 4 with the Panthers coming off a good week against the Chiefs and the Bucks coming off a bad week against the Saints. But it's Brady, man. Brady is king of the bounce back. He's had games where he's performed poorly before, but he's the kind of guy, he doesn't let it affect his play throughout the rest of the season. We're still seeing a little bit of shakiness in terms of the connection with his receivers and his understanding of the offense. But I think that as the season goes on, that this was kind of a wake up week for Brady and this Bucks team. And I think that this is exactly what they needed to kind of turn that gear towards the postseason to really drill home. Like, listen, we had a bad game against the Giants. We had a really bad game against the Saints. Let's go out here and beat up on a worse Panthers team, a young Panthers team. Even though I really like the Panthers and what they've been doing, I think that the Bucks easily win this by a touchdown.
I'm going to hit on my dog of the week. I got the Giants against the Eagles. I like how the Giants have been playing. Like, their offense is god awful because Daniel Jones turns it over every other play, it seems like. But I mean, their defense steps up, and we look at this game last time they played on Thursday night. The Giants should have won. They had a 2-score lead going in, like, what was it, like almost midway in the fourth quarter. Should have won that game. But the Giants are 5-1 against the spread in their last 60 games. I'll easily take plus 3.5 there. Also, I kind of like this because it doesn't make sense. Philly's 8-0 against the Giants straight up in their last 8 meetings. So something's got to give. And I think the Giants, this is when they squeak one out right here and put them back into that conversation, the East.
Yeah, that's interesting because I've been a guy that's been on and off of the Giants. 2 weeks ago, I took them as my dog of the week. Then the next week I was saying, yeah, I'm fading the Giants. After watching the Giants a little bit, I'll give them credit because the beginning of the season Giants versus the Giants now, they seem like different teams because this is a Giants team that's been in some really close ball games. They're really fighting hard. I think that Joe Judge is, really starting to have his imprint on the on this football team. And while I'm not sure this is a team that's going to win a ton of games the rest of the season, I see this Giants team going one of two ways. They either really get their crap together and win this week and take the division, or they let the situation that they have right now get to them, and then they just kind of flop and end up with one of the top picks. So I think this is a big week for the Giants, and I was really thinking about taking their spread. I'm taking their spread on my pick'em, but my next pick this week is going to be Cleveland minus 3.5. I'm not super confident in this pick, but I am confident in that the Texans defense sucks. So I think that sucky defenses are a good matchup for Cleveland. This is a team that can at least control the football. Baker Mayfield has been much less turnover prone recently. So I think that getting Nick Chubb back is really big for this Cleveland offense, and they should be able to control the ball as long as they're able to play some good Cleveland Browns defense. I think they might be able to get a win here.
Yeah, I'm on the Browns as well. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll go with an underdog pick here. I was thinking of who my underdog would be for the week, who I was going to talk about. And first I was going to go, okay, I'll take the Bills over the Cardinals. And then Steed said that. And then I was like, all right, I'll just talk about the Seahawks then. And then Frank goes right after with the Seahawks. So I'll go with another one. With the Bears, they're 3-point underdogs against the Vikings at home, by the way. And I think really this just comes down to whether or not they can slow down Dalvin Cook. And I mean, obviously that's easier said than done. But the Bears defense is pretty good. Kirk Cousins really has not been good this year. I don't think by himself he's going to beat any team. And the Bears, I think they can hopefully have some success against the Vikings defense, which hasn't been that good either this year. And I mean, they just have to score more than 3 points in the first 3 quarters, which seems to be what they've been doing every game this year. But yeah, I like the Bears to beat the Vikings at home this week.
Yeah, I got Bears +3 as well. And I mean, we can't ignore the fact that, Kirk Cousins about to play a Monday Night Football game. So I feel like you gotta take the Bears. This is my last pick, and I was just gonna say the Vikings are favored on Monday night. It smells like it's just Kirk Cousins doesn't show up on Monday night. Everybody knows that. So
yeah, basically, for those who don't know, Kirk Cousins has a terrible record on Monday Night Football. He just plays like dog crap on Monday night. I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but
But they'll
basically-
show you on ESPN.
yeah, they'll show you
That game-
when you watch the game. They'll show you his terrible record on Monday night.
Was Kirk Cousins Neil instead of Spike on a Monday night game?
I think so. Yes. Oh my God, that was ridiculous. I think I have to pull that up if I can find a way to get out of this. But real quick, as I'm looking this up, my last pick, second to
He's
last
0
pick.
and 8.
He's 0-8. Jesus. My second to last pick is going to be the Washington football team, +4 against the Lions. I have to take this after just basically calling for Matt Patricia's job. I have to take Washington, right? I'm just going to assume that for a third week in a row, the Lions are going to line up a couple snaps with 10 guys in the field. And I know the Redskins offense with one-legged Alex Smith do suck. The 10-man Lions, come on, there's 10 guys on the field. They should be able to move the ball.
I can't believe he's 0 and 8. Jesus Christ.
Are
Yeah,
those
dude, there's
all your
no-
picks, Steve?
Yeah, those are all my picks. It's not. I think I have 6 games. Like it's not. Well, plus that over, probably 7. It's not that many. Yeah, I like this week is weird. I don't really like the Lions too much. Like, see, I got the Browns, Giants.
Well, I got one last pick. I have another teaser. It's my second teaser this week. It's a 6.5 point teaser, not a 6-pointer. Taking the Saints -2.5 and the Seahawks +8. That's even though it's kind of bad odds, it's a lock teaser of the week.